All right, let's roll back the rock and turn back the clock back to the time when I was in the process of quitting pornography myself, and I hadn't fully quit yet. There was about 5 years, you might already know some of the story, but stick with me here. There was about 5 years where I just didn't seem to be making any progress at all. Just stuck in this rut, trying to quit and failing and failing and failing. Got to a point where I was only relapsing about once a month a little later on. And that went on for about a year. But even so, during that time, even though I had made progress, even though I was getting longer streaks, I was still stuck in this cycle of failure. Get a streak, then fail. Get a streak, then fail. And during this entire time, I had been keeping up with my accountability groups and partners. I had been learning more and more and more about how to quit porn. And that all was helpful. That all helped me get further and further and further. But when it finally snapped, when everything finally stopped, and I actually quit pornography for good, it wasn't really because I learned anything new. It wasn't really because somebody on the internet, on YouTube, told me the one secret I needed to know for how to quit porn or anything like that. Here's what happened. I sat down. I thought about everything I learned. I thought, something here is not working. I'm still stuck in this cycle. I've learned so much. I know pretty much all there is to know about this. I've got all the knowledge. But something is missing, and it's not working. What I'm doing right now isn't working, so I've got to do something different, and I've got to figure out what that is. And so I sat down, and I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and it just took some time to really go over all this in my head and really try to reassess my strategy. I tried to look at my past failures and relapses and see what led up to them, just analyze it all. Just take it all in, go over it, and figure out what I needed to change. And that kind of took the form of these two realizations that I had at the point, which were things I already knew, but that I hadn't fully made a part of my intrinsic intuitive mindset, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, there's a difference between knowing how to do math problems, knowing the formula, and actually understanding what's going on behind the numbers. Does that make sense? So in other words, there's the knowledge of, oh yeah, all the right lessons. You've learned all the right lessons. If somebody asks you, what are, all these different things that are important for quitting porn, you can probably answer them. But if you're still stuck in that rut, there's still something missing that you've got to figure out. And in my case, it was fully realizing, fully understanding these 2 points. One of them was that I always have a choice. Porn can't make me watch it. It's not like I can't help it or anything like that. It's always a choice. And the second one was, it doesn't really matter what I want or what I feel like. Either way, whether I feel like quitting porn, it doesn't matter. If I feel like watching porn, it doesn't matter. What matters is sticking to that decision. And I've talked more about that in another video. But the realization might be different for you. It might be a different thing for you that has to click in your head for you to finally be able to kiss this thing goodbye for good. And whatever it is, you've got to find it. Because if you're stuck in this pattern, and this is the same pattern that I see in the vast majority of guys who are trying to quit, is that they have a streak and they fail. They have a streak and they fail. They have a streak and they fail. That's not quitting. That is not where you stop watching porn. That's where you watch porn less. We're not trying to watch porn less here. We're not trying to moderate our pornography consumption. We're trying to stop watching porn, and that means completely. And so, to that end, let's break out of this pattern here. Whatever you've got to do differently, figure it out. I can't figure it out for you. I've made over 100 videos. I've told you guys everything I know. All the knowledge is there. All of that weaponry is there. This knowledge these knowledge. This knowledge, it is weaponry. It is powerful. Knowledge is power. It's a cliche, overused phrase, but it's 100% true here. You've got the weapons available to you. You've got the accountability available to you. That's the other important thing. If you're still stuck in this pattern, sit down, evaluate your strategy, evaluate your behavior, your mindset. Think about everything you've learned. Bring it all together and see what you need to change. Because if you keep trying to do the same thing you've been doing this whole time, and you just hope, well, maybe this streak will be different, maybe this streak will be different, maybe this streak will be different. No, we're done with the streaks, okay? This is about actually changing for good, completely. All right? So figure out what it is you got to do and do it. My challenge to you, yes, I am issuing you a challenge. If you're not already accountable, get accountable. If you can't find an accountability group, guess what? There's one in the description. So, no excuses now. Number 2, learn this stuff, okay? Keep studying. I'm still learning to this day. Learning isn't something where you just finally learn enough and then you're good. Keep learning, keep studying, keep gaining that knowledge. Keep gaining those weapons, that power that you can use to your advantage, okay? And you're going to use this as you figure out what it is you need to change in order to kick this thing for good. And then the last thing is really take the time to think about this yourself and figure it out. Figure out what has to happen. Figure out what adjustments you need to make, what you need to do, how you need to change your thinking in order to actually get this over with. All right? So let's do it. March. There's a lot of stuff happening in March. I want to see this seriously turn around this month. All of you guys. Okay? I've been involved in various NoFap and no-porn communities for about 2.5 years now, ever since I started talking to anybody about it at all. On 4chan, 8chan, Reddit, Twitter, all kinds of places, YouTube. And I see the same pattern everywhere. You've got a very small minority of guys who got it together and who have actually quit. You've got the vast majority are stuck in that cycle I talked about, or they've even just given up and stopped even trying to quit porn. Stopped checking into their accountability groups, just stopped. I don't want that. I don't want that to be the same thing here. I didn't start this channel just so I could watch the same cycle repeat over and over and over again like it has been for so long, like it has been everywhere else. I actually want to make a real difference. I want all of us here to make a real difference. I want to see this channel grow. I want to reach more and more people, but more important than that is getting this sorted with those of us who are already here. All right? So do what you got to do. Get this thing under control. Let's turn this ratio around. Let's not have it be, a small minority of guys who've got it together and the vast majority of guys are stuck trying to quit. Let's turn that around. Let's get it where victory and success is the norm. That is the way it should be. That is what this is about. This is about not having something else to fail at over and over again. This is about winning. This is about having complete victory over pornography. So let's make victory the norm here. And that's what's going to shake stuff up. That's what I want to see. Then we can worry about growth. It's exciting to see the numbers and everything. There's like 340 something subscribers as of this recording. I've got it in my head that I want to hit 400 by the end of the month. I think that would be really cool. But more important than that is, working with what we got right here and getting the people who are already on board where they need to be. But like I said, I can't do it for you. You've got to sort this out. You've got to figure it out. I'm just giving you a challenge and telling you what you need to do to get there. So let's do it, guys. This is exciting because I know that it doesn't have to be the same way it's been this whole time. I actually want to do something. I want us to change something here. I'm running low on time. I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter nowadays, but I think you get the point. If we can turn this ratio around of success to failure and make success the norm. And if we can break this pattern here and break the idea that this pattern is just the way it is, the way it has to be for most guys, if we can break all of that, then that is going to have huge effects even beyond just the realm of nofap and no porn and all that. It's going to have a big effect on masculinity in general. And that will make waves. So there's exciting stuff here. This stretches a lot farther than just little improvements to your own lifestyle. And I'm excited about it. So let's get to work here. But anyway, probably more on this later. That's it for now. Y'all have a lovely day. God bless you guys. Like I said, accountability group in the description. Twitter link in the description if you're into that. Follow me on Twitter. It's lots of fun. Subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. Keep up with all this stuff. Really wanting to make some serious changes here. All right, let's do it. I'll talk to you later. God bless you guys.